Hi Kohinoor.
Hi Aditya. Thank you so much for bringing me here in the channel.
Great.
And
Welcome.
15 years, you've completed 15 years, right?
Yes, as India's first pro audio web store.
Fantastic. Proud of you, man.
Thank you
And
so
I'm
much.
good to help you out or like anything which you want,
Great.
always on.
Great. Thank you. So welcome to Sudhi Body's YouTube channel. And you've been around for over 15 years as a sound engineer.
Yeah.
So we are here to learn your story from Calcutta to Mumbai and how life has shaped for you over the last so many years.
Right.
Being from musical family is what I know.
Yeah.
So you can give us the details and the journey.
Yeah, to begin with, actually, my mom was a fantastic singer, Indian classical music singer. And it's because of her that I'm into this line, because I initially, since my birth, I was always into music. I heard, great singers, my mom,
What's her name?
Raka Mukherjee, Srimati Raka Mukherjee. So she's a disciple of Pandit Gyan Prakash Ghosh and many other gurus. And that's how I got my, liking for music. And also it taught me one more important thing is like, nothing is easy. So if you're into music, you have to be dedicated. And dedication is the most important thing in what I'm doing now also. Because people nowadays, what happens is like they don't, they feel everything is very easy, but actually there is nothing called as easy, yet everything is easy. It depends on whether the journey you're talking about, whether the journey has been done properly or not. So, initially from my childhood, I got introduced to going to studios, courtesy my mother. And there, more I was into singing, as my school buddies would know. So I used to sing a lot. Then after that, while going to studios, I saw those great engineers. I would say they're all great engineers because they never had any major tools or anything like that. But with that, the sound which they came up with was fantastic. Two mics, so many people. Now, if you tell someone to mic something, it will be oh, okay. It's like that. Besides, of course, the greats. So the greats are always greats, let me tell you. So after that, I got an opportunity to work in a studio. Besides continuing more with my studies on at that time, I got introduced to an uncle of mine who had 3 studios in Calcutta. And that is where I started my journey. That was around 2003, 2004, in that range.
How old were you that time?
I was 23.
So is that too young, too old?
It is too old. Because what happens in Calcutta is that आपका basic education जब तक खत्म ना हो ना, तो आपको वो नहीं करना मिलता नहीं, वो करना आपको अंदर से आता ही नहीं. You don't feel like doing it, What happens is, as Bengal, you would know, it's a epitome of culture and education and all those things. So even if you are not a mere masters, no one even bothers about talking to you, Oh, kuch nahi kiya usne. So it's something like that. So I was doing my masters at that time when I got this opportunity. And that's how and because again I was blessed to have a very good friend circle of musicians, courtesy my mother again. So they all, we used to interact, used to chat, and then as they came to know that I have gone in this line and they are still pursuing playing and all whatnot. So that is how we get together and recorded a lot of albums, because in Calcutta at that time we never used to do those films. It was more of an album scene. Now what is happening now here, independent music, album scene. So I recorded Anushka Shankar with Anushka Shankar, the album called Rise, which was again Grammy nominated in 2005. So I thank you, Anushka. So we did a fantastic time, 14 days of amazing recording sessions happening, great musicians, maestros coming down, recording and having pizzas and whatnot. So that was one journey. Then after that, I almost recorded at the time whoever musicians who were there in Calcutta, so-called the named artists. I recorded them for almost 2.5 years. I was in Calcutta, but later on, when I used to hear any Hindi song or anything, which is Hollywood oriented and this and that, I used to say that my mixes are horrible. I just can't understand why. I really need to learn this craft because it's a different learning.
So this was all self-taught?
Till then, yes.
So you learnt on the job?
I learnt on the job because they were.
Kohinoor, you never thought of becoming a singer yourself with such a great mother and singer at home?
Which is really weird. I always wanted to, but I think I never had the courage, I would say, because people would what happens if you're a son of or daughter of a great musician, they by default get compared until unless you be there. And for me, singing was more of a hobby. This was more of a hobby. This was also a hobby, but this was much more serious hobby, because here you don't sing, you make others sing. So there was a plus point in this. You get to boss around. No, nahi lag raha hai, nahi lag raha hai. You have to change. So that was another thrill inside you. Then after that, recordings and all those things, I figured out that I really need to learn. I really need to learn. So I applied in 2-3 places. One was Berkeley, the other was Ontario Institute in Canada. Then it so happened that another uncle of mine, Mr. Pandit Satish Vyas, he again was very close to my mother and said that abhi kya ho raha hai. So then he introduced my mom to Mr. Daman Sood, who is my guru, of course, 100%. He's a man, he's like my dad. So he then spoke with my mother and said that ladkiyon ko idhar bhejo. So I came here, I joined DA, and I gave whatever I had to get things to make him happy, to make myself satisfied, not happy, because till date I am not happy at all with whatever I do, to be really frank. I am still a student and I am learning constantly. And after that, it was a 9 or I think a year long course, I still can't remember that well. After that, there was an opportunity for Anand Raj Anand, the music director. So he wanted a person who was like all square, used to take care of dubbings, mixing, and then coordinating with programmers and making schedules, whatever, everything, one-man show. So from DA I applied there after graduation. Actually I didn't. 5 months, after 5 months I got this job, and I had to take leave to give my final exams. And that is how I started my journey. And trust me, everything has been so hard worked, everything. Even when I came to Bombay with the economic constraints, I had to lead a life which was all about dedication. So this one word I am trying to push forward is dedication, because this is a line which requires a lot of your work, and you really need to love this line. If you love it, then you are there. That's it. Because you might be less, you might be more, that depends on your capabilities or what God has blessed you with. But what is in your hand is dedication and hard work.
So at any point in your course, you felt I was better off in Calcutta, where I have come to Bombay and all that?
No. I was super happy, trust me. Primarily because I could learn.
Because you would be staying alone here.
Yeah, I used to stay alone in a PG. It was not even a PG, I don't know what it was. It was a one room with 3 people. 2 of them are dopies, constantly having ganja and drinking away to glory and watching movies and ye shot bahut badhiya, wo shot bahut badhiya. And I was the sole one who was out of that. And I had a cot which had those termites. So I had to put, every night I had to put fresh newspapers so that I could sleep. And that was also 2-3 hours, because they would be doing this and I can't study in that entire ruckus. So I had to go out, I had to study in the lobby and then come back and then sleep, and 3 hours, 4 hours sleep. 9 o'clock we had our classes. So till 3, 4 I used to study out. in the lobby, and then come back and just sleep in a bed full of termites. So that is how. Lunch was vada pav. That is how I fell in love with vada pav, I guess, or bananas. Once
But you didn't tell your mom that.
no,
Dad,
they
that
would be totally disheartened. They would have said, just come back. That's it, over. So I didn't want that.
or you could have moved to another PG or something like that. I
No,
mean, I
that
have seen-
eventually that happened when my uncle, he came down to Bombay just for a small little ride to see what am I doing exactly. So when he went to that PG, he couldn't say anything. He had just tears in his eyes rather. He was like, okay, this is where you're staying? I said, yes. Then he immediately from there he took me to another PG which was far, far better. Although it never had a toilet, let me tell you. The room never had a toilet, so I had to wait for others to wake up, then only I used to go. See, there are a lot of things, small little things you have to adjust. Everything is adjustment and everything is like, so it teaches you, Bombay teaches you, you know, the hard way, and you have to enjoy. You have to really enjoy and relish what you have gone through and what you have done.
Right.
Not getting your ample sleep, not getting your ample food, yet going for a line where you don't even know what it has in offer, you know.
Correct. Correct.
So that is even difficult. It's a very difficult line.
So with Anand Raj Anand, you spent about 3 years, and then
Yeah. With 3 years, I did a lot of films with him as his team, and we did Welcome, C Company, then Jimmy, then
Songs or
Halidil. Songs, all songs. Anand Raj did songs only.
So you did all the mixing.
I did partial mixing, of course, partial mixing I did. Then recordings I did a lot. I did because I believe that you know, while going into mixing or mastering, whatever it is, you have to be a recording engineer first.
What does that mean?
So you have to record. You have to record first to know what the exact sound or the exact tone you can come up with.
Right. For the benefit of the viewers is what I'm asking.
Okay.
I know what it is.
So no, I feel that if you go into a studio, you have to first of all know the different type of, at least a basic idea of what mics are all about, how the thing happens.
But there has to be somebody to tell you, no? There are some 5 mics lying around. How the hell do you know that what is this?
Best way to plug all of them and see what you like.
But
Actually,
you need some human being with an instrument also to
Of
have
course,
patience
of course. Patience.
to sit through.
No. That happens. That's what I'm saying. You getting into a studio, you have to have a mentor in the studio. You have to assist. That is for sure. I assisted 3 years in Calcutta. Those guys were phenomenal guys. They had nothing in their toolkit. That's what I told you. But they were fantastic guys. They knew the art of recording to the T. How to get it done. So that just spending time seeing how they do it, and that makes a huge lot of difference. Like now, if I say like guys like Shantanu Hudligar and you know, all those people who have Farhad Dadi, they are phenomenal in recording and whatever they do, mixing, whatever.
So that's the basic.
That's the basic. You spend time, you talk to them, you find out what is happening. Mujib sir, Benny sir, there are so many people, Daman Sood, whoever it is. You just have to be there. You ask, you bombard them with questions. You have to just tell them, that is what I'm looking for. This is what I want. How to get it. It's as simple as that.
That's how you learn.
That's how you learn. You be with them. Shantanuji, you go there, you tell him he's a sweetheart. I'm sure he's going to help you out in whatever way.
Right.
So
So, were there any instances in your initial days in Bombay that you were scolded upon, "Hey, aata nahi hai kuch," or something? I mean, because
that
there are
happens.
frustrations that come out.
Exactly. That is a must. Let me tell you. वो तो अभी भी आता है dialogue. यार तेरे को आता नहीं है. But yeah, jokes apart, like in Calcutta also, I remember the very first day I recorded. Trust me, it was the worst day till now in this field.
Really?
Incredible. There are like 8 people you have to record at one go. And I forgot how to minimize a screen. Like shrink a screen. I forgot that. Because I was so nervous. So nervous. He's saying, how can you watch a WAV file this big I said, no, I am trying to make it small, but I can't, I forgot. So it happens. And at the same time, it's a, it's a cumulative process where had that been a group of, young guys or, who are starters, it's fine, you're saved. But if all of them are like huge guys in Calcutta and you are the new one and you are studying something and you just get it wrong, I'm not saying the word, then you're gone. Nothing works, nothing works. The first initial step, but that plunge has to be taken. It has to be taken.
So mistakes can happen.
Mistakes will happen and mistakes still happen. If you are not making a mistake, then there is a problem, I feel.
Okay.
Because more mistakes you make, the more knowledgeable you get.
But clients have to be patient enough, no? Otherwise they'll get irritated and they'll say,
That
"Boss."
depends on the type of mistake. छोटा मिस्टेक यार, किक थोड़ा बढ़ा दे और थोड़ा आएगा. So that's a different. So technically, now as people say, this is a very good mix, this is a very bad. No mix is good and bad. Let me tell you, it all depends on the client. Whatever they want, you have to cater to that, to your abilities. But of course, there are certain things which I hold back. That like they say, बहुत कड़क बना दो या ये कर दो वो कर दो. I can't. I'm not a extremely compressed guy. I don't like too much of compression.
Right.
So I want my tracks to breathe, open. That's my forte. You have a volume knob, no? You can put it up, just one notch. Trust me, one notch, and you're sorted.
So with Anand Rajanand, then you moved on to.
Then I had an opportunity to meet Pritam da, and I did one of his small works which he needed at a dire straight moment. आधे घंटे में कुछ करना पड़ेगा. So he knew about me, and who doesn't know about him? So he was like, यार तू करेगा? You want to do it? I said, of course I want to do it. And at that day I was like so tired. I started the day at 9 in the morning and I wound up at around about 10:30 at night with Anand Raj. And then I got a call at 11:30 that he wants to do something. And the track was about to come in half an hour's time, which eventually came 3.5 hours later. And I had to do that. And 5:30, 6 o'clock I submitted, I sent the track. That time there was no wage transfer, of course. I'm talking about 2008.
What
7,
song
8.
was this? If you remember?
Impossible.
You don't remember?
Impossible. So it was just a presentation mix or shoot mix, whatever.
Okay.
So I did that. Shoot mix, yeah. I had to give a transfer. I remember Nagara at that time. So after that, I went to bed for 2 hours. I went back to Anand Raj, and 6 o'clock I got a call that can you come and let's have a cup of tea. So that is how it all happened. So I joined him. I was freelancing, but again I joined him. And there was so much of work in that place. So it's better to say that. And of course, we have a huge connect also. Me and Pritam da, we both are from the same school. Okay. So I have seen him like playing guitars and this and that. Thin, absolutely thin, like, with, Chinese type of hair. So that was my picture of Pritam da. I was in class 4 or something like that when he passed out. So
Right.
after that, I started off doing freelancing. Mixing was something which I used to love, because for me sound had it's a different thing. How can I explain this to you? I felt sound.
Okay.
I didn't go by dBs or this or that or whatnot. I used to feel. Music is all about feeling. That is courtesy classical music. Because, and I feel people say that if you are from a classical background, you might not be able to understand or comprehend other genres and this and that. I feel it is really not right. It is really not right. Because if someone has an exposure to classical music, he or she can cater to any genre in the world. I can vouch on it. Because everything is a subset of what classical music is. Whatever riffs we have in rock or whatever beats we have in any other form of music or anything. If you know classical music, it's nothing. Firattan boliye aap, kuch bhi boliye. It's like it's just a riff of, it's another word of thing. It's just there you have 20 things, here you have 3 things to play with, and then you have it. It's just the vibe. You need to learn the vibe. So listening to music is also very important, I would say. You have to hear a lot of genres, and you have to listen and understand what the genre is all about. And after that, of course, the music director. So that's that, I feel.
So Kohinoor, you said you went freelance, okay, after a few years of working. Tabhi you have to be at home, and then people will call you.
Yeah.
First of all, how do you tell the world that boss, I'm freelance? And number two, तो ये फटता नहीं है क्या?
अरे फट के हाथ में भी आ जाता है, वो बात तो है ही. It's really tough.
But why do you become freelance? अभी चुपचाप 10 से 6 या 10 से 10 का काम है किधर, तो काय को छोड़ छाड़ के अपना खुद का बैंड बजाना है?
नहीं, इसमें ही तो मजा है. अपना बैंड बजेगा वही सही है. Yeah. It's a different kick, यार. It's a different thing. When you are, it's a different struggle where
you don't know who will call you.
I really don't know, but at the same time,
they know that you are freelance. They'll think, "अरे वो तो वो studio का."
No. That I believe a lot of people know that I am.
No, that's now.
That's now. But earlier it was pain, man. It was pain. It was really pain. It was work with work. You get a work.
Correct, but you do call people and tell
them. Yeah. Call.
मैं अपने आप करता हूँ.
अभी मैं अपने आप करता हूँ. ये तो फोन करके बहुत बार बोलना पड़ा. अभी भी फोन करके बोलना पड़ता है कि I am there. So it is like that. It's a phase again, and I'm sure that's why no work is small. बड़ा काम छोटा काम होता ही नहीं है. काम होता है. So, and I would I would do every song to the bestest of my ability, so that if someone hears this song, he might come and approach. But yes, approachability is very less because people don't heed to the who's mixed it or who's done that. But if someone asks, I would keep no stone unturned. I would see to it that I do my best so that people pleasant bhi laga to bola कि यार कौन किया है. So that thing is there. And also constant, you have to be in the process of calling up people and letting them know that you are there. And till date we have to do that to find out who is there.
But you don't feel anxious कि यार पता नहीं अगला महीना कैसा जाएगा.
I have trust in God and my work. That's it. You have to trust yourself. You know what you do. Just do it to your bestest of your ability. And I'm sure God is there. Someone is watching you. Someone is really watching you. It is just your hard work, your dedication, and your faith and trust in God. You have to be God-fearing. There is nothing called as you're the boss. It can never happen. You're never the boss. There is someone who's making you do it now, which you tend to forget. But you have to remember that, and you have to be grateful and thankful. That's it.
So you've given us wonderful songs like Mahi Ve and many others.
Yeah, Kabil is also there. Then, of course, I did a beautiful film called Irada with Neeraj Sridhar. Fantastic melodies, fantastic songs. And I would love to, whenever I hear some good music, my ears just go, up. Man, this is so good. So yeah, I've done a couple of songs. Yes.
Nice. And congratulations for your recent award.
Thank you.
From IRA.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Thanks to IRA for, recognizing my work. I'm really grateful.
That's nice to know. You're talking to another IRA award winner.
I know. So we are in the league now, I guess.
Just waiting for the check to clear. Cool. So thanks, Kohinoor, for sharing your journey. And in the next part, we'll learn something more from you in terms of how you approach work and how do you mix and
Absolutely.
come up with ideas.
Absolutely. With pleasure. With pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for bringing me here. Thanks a lot. Thank you.